Welcome, welcome, welcome. Make fathers great again. I'm your host, Justin Austin. First and foremost, all praise be to Yahweh. Um, Guys, forgive me. There might be a glare on the screen. Your boy cracked his screen yesterday. Fell off the truck. But that's another story for another day. Um, Two things I want to touch on today. First thing, consequence. Words have power. Consequence. One of the coolest things that ever happened to me in my life was getting a book that was full of words. It was root words, prefixes, and suffixes. Simple breakdown: prefix is the beginning word. The root word is the actual root base of the word. Suffix is like ing, ist, ism. Prefix would be like pre, pro. So that book did great wonders for me because it helped me in my development of my language, but also my intelligence. Your intelligence is directly linked to your vocabulary. The more words that you know and understand, the greater your comprehension, and subsequently or consequently, the greater your intelligence. So the word consequence, when you look at the word sequin would be the root. So you have consequence. Con means with. Sequence means order. So, or order of things. So consequence is that which comes with the order of things. We've been taught the word consequence mostly in the negative sense. What they call connotations. Connotation is the way that something is expressed, negatively, positively, with exacerbation, something that is spoken about in a low tone. But connotation has a negative connotation, consequence, or manipulation. These words in themselves are not negative. They're used in a negative sense. Consequence is what comes with the order of things. If I plant a seed, water it, give it sunlight, proper soil, that's the order or the sequence. What comes with that order and sequence is a beautiful flower, beautiful tree, fruit bearing off the tree. That is the consequence of doing something in the right way. So I started thinking about my own life and the consequences, good and bad, that I've experienced. And this is the reason I bring this up, gentlemen. We cannot expect positive results from poor order. In the movie American Gangster, one of my favorite films, the Italian tells Frank Lucas, one thing the Italians know, the Italian mafia, is that order is more important than one man's life. If you actually notice in the scripture, order is more important than one man's life. If you notice in the scripture, order is how you love Yahweh. Those who love me will follow my commands. A command is an order. Order is what keeps marriages healthy. Order is what keeps businesses growing. Order is what creates beautiful children into beautiful human beings. That's what order does. Order is how Yahweh set the seas never to eclipse the earth beyond a certain point. That's order. When the sea is out of order, you get tsunamis. When your planting is out of order, you get a dead tree. When your marriage is out of order, you get divorce. When your children are out of order, you get delinquents. When business is out of order, you get closures. When the economy is out of order, you get inflation and recession. Order is more important than one man's life, than one woman's life, than one child's life. Order is how Yahweh created the earth in 6 days. Consequence is the result of order. Poor order, correct order. But consequence, negative or positive, follows positive or negative order. My life, I can see positive consequences, I can see negative consequences. My life is the way it is because of the orders that I chose. I'm going through a divorce. My marriage lacked order. I think about my children going through a divorce. They lack order. So how can I expect them to be healthy human beings when their life is out of order? This is something that I have to deal with. This is something that I take to the Creator because I know He loves my children more than He loves me. He loves my wife more than I love my wife. He loves me more than I can love myself. So if I can share anything with you guys is choose the order wisely. Choose order wisely. Choose order based off information, based off faith, based off counsel. A wise man puts together plans based off wise counsel. That's why I have business partners. Example, the order that I had pursued in the beginning, 15 years ago when I started my first business, the community movement, back when I was 19. I'm 34 now. 15 years ago, it was the first thing I've ever created was the community movement. And it was a nonprofit. And just like Make Fathers Great Again. But a lot of the order that I followed or created was erroneous. That's why the community movement is not in existence. JMA Staffing, started that in 2016, my own staffing company. Poor order, no longer in existence. Olivia's Fresh Sandwiches, had a sandwich distribution company that I named after my stepdaughter back in 2018. It was out of order. It's no longer in business. Shout out Livy Live. Order is more important than the business because there's no business without order. Order is more important than the marriage because there's no marriage without order. Spare the rod and spoil the child. The rod is about order. Authority is about order. It goes Yahweh, Yahweh Shua, man, woman, child. We report up, as Mr. Kevin Samuels likes to say. We follow up our authority. When a woman has authority over a man, it's out of order. Look at America today. Look at Western society today. And the more you have women taking more authority in areas where they are supposed to be subservient, there's no order. When men choosing to do things within their family, within their business, with no order or with poor order, you get failure. Ukraine right now, before Russia invaded it, Zelensky was banning opposition parties, so he had no one to run against, so he can get reelected. It was out of order before Russia even crashed it. The second thing I want to speak on is the image of men. The image of men has been destroyed, partially because of men, partially because of the work of the devil and the modern women mentality and feminism and Western culture. Modern men, if you're a modern man, I feel bad for you. But men of this modern day, we have to be men of Yahweh. We have to be men of purpose, men of substance, men of faith. And the image of man is poor. I was talking to my own brother, and he expressed that he genuinely felt that the public perception and his personal perception of most black men and most men are poor. And if a man thinks this way, how much more so a woman? What can we do about that? So I have made it my calling. Before I started this video, I just made a promise. If you don't have any men to look up to me. And not because I'm perfect, but because every day I wake up and serve Yahweh. Every day I look and I seek to put order in my life. Not that I don't do wrong. I sin and I sin and I sin, but I don't live in sin. I fall in sin. And if I'm living in sin, Yahweh, remove it from me. Remove from me the things that I do know and don't know that I'm doing that's wrong. And I ask you to make the same request to him. But if you don't have any men to look at to get your true value, if you don't have an earthly example in your life of a good man, of what a man is supposed to do, of how a man is supposed to serve Yahweh, if you need an example, use me. I'm not the perfect example, but I am better than what the world is offering. We need men to see men of order. And the only men of order are the men of Yahweh, because Yahweh created order. You don't get to change it. There's no evolution of what Yahweh has made as a universal principle. It doesn't evolve. It's static. Sun, static. Moon, static. Stars, static. The seas, static. The earth, static. The process of planting is static. We need men of order. Men who are of order are men of Yahweh. I am a man of Yahweh. We need the male image to be respected, to be exemplified, and to be pedestalized. Do not pedestalize women. Women are not above you. Yahweh Shua and Yahweh are above men. Men are supposed to be pedestalized by women. Stop pedestalizing women, because then you denigrate yourself. You denigrate the whole male population. You denigrate the purpose of a man being Yahweh's agent on earth. The male image needs to be respected by men, women, and children. And until we make greater men, we will not be in order. Today, we are calling out all men to become men of order, to become men of Yahweh, to exemplify the agent of change on earth that is here to do Yahweh's will, and exemplify it, share it, and infuse it into our culture, our families, and our daily life. The time is now. If you don't have a male figure that you love, that you respect, that you look up to me. When my niece was in 4th grade, this is one of the greatest moments of my life. When my niece was in fourth grade, she came home one day. She had a construction paper where they had an assignment in class. It said, "Who was your hero?" Background: my niece has 7 other siblings. They have a father and a mother. They were mostly raised by their grandparents. Uncle Justin, I've tried to be in their life as much as I can, sharing the word of Yahweh, being an example of a good man. She chose me as her hero. Almost made me cry. I probably shed a tear that day. One of the greatest things I could ever do is be a hero to my niece. Who are you a hero to? Who calls you their hero? If your child does not call you their hero, you're a failure. We stopped preaching sin and we started preaching prosperity. This is the sin sermon. If you are not your child's hero, you're a failure. That's your job. My best friend, his son is 4, maybe 5. Tonight he put him in like Taekwondo. So tonight I'll be going to watch him. I'm so proud of this little boy. And he just excites me so much. If you asked him who is his hero, he'd tell you his dad. If you asked him who he wanted to be like, he'll tell you his dad. If you asked him who the greatest man on earth is, he would tell you his dad. That is what we aspire to. If you are not your son's hero, if you are not your daughter's hero, if you are not your wife's hero, you failed. This is what we're called here to do. Any woman that tells you she doesn't want you to be her hero, leave her alone. She is not of Yahweh. Women of Yahweh want men of Yahweh to be their hero. Women of Yahweh want men of Yahweh to be their authority. Women of Yahweh want men to provide them order. They expect it. They need it. Women of the world believe in independence and strength. Those aren't women of Yahweh. Not one description in the Bible talks about an independent woman. When Paul speaks about the women, he says the women that have helped the men push the gospel and the good news. Ruth, assistant to the purpose. Mary, assistant to the purpose. Men of Yahweh, let's stand up. Let's provide order in our families, order in our business, order in the community. If men can't look to you as an example, you're a failure. If men cannot look to you as an example, you are a failure. It is time. Step up or be forgotten. We need more great men. The fastest way to change the world and make it a better place is to make great men. More great men. Malachi 4:6, I will turn the hearts of the fathers back to the children, and the hearts of the children back towards the fathers. Or I will smite the earth with a curse. I'm going to tell you guys what the curse is. Feminism. The world has been smited with feminism because the hearts of men are not turned towards Yahweh, nor are they turned towards their family. That is the curse. Western culture is cursed. And the number one curse plaguing Western culture, beyond faithlessness, is feminism. Feminism is a byproduct of faithlessness. You heard it here. Facts are facts. And as they say on Fresh and Fit, forget your feelings. Facts don't care. Yahweh's universal laws, Yahweh's commands don't care about your feelings. Actually, Yahweh's commands don't even care about your circumstances. But, in this situation, no. Your feelings and your circumstances come second to order. That's what they're not teaching you. Faith does not come second to circumstances or feelings. So if your faith doesn't trump your feelings or your circumstances, you don't have faith. It says in Scripture, if you fail when tested, you're a failure. The proof is in the pudding. If a piece of substance goes through the test of being a diamond and doesn't make it, it's not considered a diamond. It's considered some other type of substance. You can't get credit for something that you are not, especially when the test comes and you fail. So men, today, if you are not a man of order, if you are not your wife, your child's, your community's hero, you're a failure. You are a failure. Become great, and the way you become great is through Yahweh Shua Messiah. Yahweh Shua puts the great in men. Yahweh Shua puts the great in men. Say it one more time. Yahweh Shua Messiah puts the great in men. So if you're lacking in greatness, seek him, and all these things shall be given unto thee. Praise be to Yahweh.